Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is gonna be a quick intro because I don't know if I cut the video or I made it too fast. I'm not sure, but I'm going in with the Lancome Le Base Primer, applying it all over her face, as you see, and that's just to make the foundation go on smoother. It actually helps last longer. It blurs imperfections. It just does a whole bunch of stuff. So now I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation stick, and I'm putting that all over her face, and this is in the shade Caramel. It looks a little bit light, I know, I thought the same thing, but I was like, let me blend this out. So when I started to blend it out, I was like, oh my gosh, this actually looks great on her because she is kind of caramel. It's a pretty color. So it blended so well. I was like, oh my gosh, yes. So the sponge that I'm using, I purchased the whole pack. It brings like 24. I got these at Target. Nope, sorry. Walmart. I purchased this at Walmart. And I'm really obsessing over these. The best thing about these is like so cheap. And I'm not constantly just throwing these sponges away because I was using the Real Techniques sponges before. They're great, don't get me wrong. But once you start getting all these clients, you're spending $6 a client. I was like, no, I need to find an alternative, and I did. I found this, and I'm really happy with it. So I'm mixing right now, so you don't see me in the camera. So I'm mixing a few colors just to get a nice contour brown shade for her. So I'm using this little brush, which you'll see in a second. I purchased this on eBay. It came with a whole bunch of brushes as well. So I was not very satisfied. So I went in and I grabbed the LA Girl Pro Concealer. I like this. However, don't get me wrong, if you leave it on too long, it's really hard to blend. So that's like the only problem. It dries really fast. So you gotta kind of just work by sections. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go with the flow and do what I gotta do, which I did. And I'm actually really happy because when I started to blend the product, I'm not sure if it had to do something with the primer that I use or the foundation, but it blended very easy. I didn't have a hard time. So now I'm using the Estee Lauder concealer, and it's by the Double Wear, and this is in light, medium, warm. And I'm using this to highlight. I was really impressed when I started to blend that in because it blended very smooth. It gave her a nice color. It did highlight, but it wasn't overpowering. It wasn't too white. It was very pretty, very subtle. So as you see, I'm blending the contour, and it actually blended very good. I'm not sure now if it was the sponge, but it just was perfect. It was perfection. So I flipped it over and I started using the clean side to blend the highlight. You don't want to mix those two colors, the contour and the highlight, because one is super dark, one is super light. And if you just mix that together at the beginning, you're just going to lose a lot of the work that you've done. But anyways, I went and I grabbed another sponge because that one was a little bit saturated. So I didn't want to mix the colors like I said. So I went ahead and I used that one all over the face. Since it was pretty clean, I know I was not going to mess anything up. So yeah, you just dab it. Don't just like brush it off. You just like press into the skin, and that just helps the product like set better, and you're like actually like putting it in, if you know what I'm saying. So this brush is the brush that I'm using right now, has nothing on it. I'm just using it to press in powder. And if there was any harsh lines, then I'm just kind of blending those in. And right now I'm just like the contour and the highlight, I'm using that brush to kind of blend those together and remove a little bit of the harsh lines. So now with the Studio Fix powder from MAC, I'm setting the highlight. I've been using this lately, and it's worked so well for me. I love how it's not just too much. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin. It's very, very nice. Now I'm going in with the Anastasia contour kit in Havana. Now this brush that I'm using, it's from the Morphe brush set, Morphe, and this is the contour set actually, and it's really nice. I'm loving it. I really love how that looks, and I'm just setting the nose and stuff like that. I noticed a few things still needed a little bit of blending, so I went in with the sponge and did that. Alright, you hear anything in the background? That's my dog, my kids, and all that good stuff, you know. That's the real life mama issues. Anyways, so I'm using the Urban Decay Naked concealer, and that's just to give it a blank canvas. It helps the eyeshadow stick, and also, you know, you have one color, you're not trying to add extra colors to that. You just want to give it like a one solid look. Alright, so all over her eye, I'm using tempera, and that's gonna just make the eye as well like one look. After that, I use warm taupe, and as you see, I just kind of use that on her crease, and I started prepping her eyes for the other colors that I will be using. I lifted her eye a little bit to get in there, like in there within the crease, and it just looks so pretty. Alright, next I'm doing that to the other eye. Then I grabbed red ochre, just a little bit, and I'm adding that to the outer V, and I'm blending that in. Then I went ahead and I used Cypress Umber, just very light, and I added down the outer lid and kind of went in just a little bit in the inner eye corner, towards the inner eye corner, but not quite. This brush I'm using right now, I think it's an e.l.f. brush. I bought it a long time ago. I think even before they were super popular, but that's when I started, and I was like, oh my god, these brushes are $1. They're not $1 anymore. Anyways, so with the what is it called, golden ochre, oops, never mind. I just added some more powder there because she was kind of sweating, and I was like, oh. Anyways, so on her brow bone, I added tempera, since I kind of, you know, go back and forth and try to make that look so pretty. But once you do that, it's like it just highlights other parts of the eye, so you have to go back and, you know, accentuate other parts, which is fine. So I use Primavera on her inner like eyelid, because we will get that ready for the next steps that I will be doing. So I went ahead and I grabbed a little bit more of the Cypress Umber, because now that I added the Primavera towards like the, you know, the inner eyelid, I noticed that the smoky look wasn't as strong as it was at the beginning before I added that. So I was like, you know what, let's add a little bit more. So we did. So here we're talking, and I was like, yep girl, you know, that's right. Explaining to her what I'm gonna do. She got a little bit sleepy. It's okay though, I would get sleepy too. I'm using a little eyebrow palette that I bought at Ulta from Anastasia. It has like a highlight, it has a wax, it's super cool. And I'm just doing her eyebrows with it. And that color that I'm using on her eyebrows is called taupe, something like that. I could be wrong, but I'm not sure. I'm not normally I have all my makeup in the room, but I'm actually in the living room right now because it is Super Bowl Sunday and everybody's watching that, including my husband. But anyways, back to the makeup. I'm doing her eyebrows. Her eyebrows are super pretty, so it was actually super easy to just kind of fill those in. So once you keep touching the eyebrows or the brow bone or anything in the face, like you're gonna have to kind of go back because you move product and stuff like that, your fingerprints, all that good stuff. She was liking the look. So with my favorite bronzer, which is the Hoola from Benefit, I'm just adding that where I kind of put the contours and stuff like that. But I'm putting it all over her face at the same time and giving her like a little bronzy look. I don't want her to look too pale or too ashy. None of that. You just want to look as natural as you can. So we want to, make those cheekbones pop. And it is okay to use your fingers as long as your hands are clean, because your fingers help so much blend the product. It's like amazing. Okay. Now I'm gonna add some blush. This blush is by Laura G. I love it. It does give it some shimmer, and I was like, too much shimmer. I'm not liking it. So I went ahead and I, started to blend that out. Added some of the Studio Fix powder so that it wasn't like a super dramatic look. I want it to be more subtle. So I just kind of did a few steps again, fixing the look. Now I'm going in with soft and gentle, blending the harsh lines. We don't want harsh lines. It's looking so pretty. I was explaining to her some makeup stuff, and she's probably like, yeah, I don't get it, girl. But she's super cute. She was super cooperative. I'm using a NYX lip liner now, and I'm pretty sure it's called Mauve or something like that. And I'm just lining her lips. After that, I'm gonna mix a few colors from my new palette, and I'm going to add that to her lips. Yeah, she was getting tired, but I don't blame her. It is a long process. So right here, we're just talking a little bit about more products, what I'm doing next, and what goes up must come down. So right now I'm just gonna smoke out her lower lash line, and the colors that I used for that were, let me grab my palette again. From what I remember, I went in with the Cypress Umber, and I added that to her lower lash line, and I slowly, gently blend that in. The brush that I'm using, it's from Real Techniques. I purchased that at Ross. It was a little kit. It was super good. I love it. Anyways, so I went in and I added the Cypress Umber, and after that, to blend that out, I added red ochre on both, obviously, and I blended that out as well. Then I grabbed warm taupe just to smoke that out, and then I blend that. Then I grabbed the Marc Jacobs pencil, and I use that on her waterline. And that's just to, intensify the look. And it's so pretty. This pencil is life. Like, I love it. So I went back and I added a little bit of more the, what is it called, tempera. And then I used Vermeer to add a little shimmer on the inner eyelid. I'm using that same E45 from Sigma. My model's falling asleep. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. So we just kind of kept talking and stuff like that. Yep. So we kept talking and talking. And I was like, I'm not really satisfied with the matte look, so I'm gonna just grab a little bit of lip gloss and just kind of add that to her lips, and I felt like that really completed the look. She was having fun. So right now I'm using the Wet n Wild eyeliner, and it's a liquid one. I'm really loving this because the fact that it has a little small brush, it is super blendable. I'm sorry, not blendable, but it's precise. You can like move it around without worrying about like messing it up because it's too long or it's not like strong enough or anything like that. It's just perfect. I got it at Walgreens. Sorry that I'm not really an angle for you guys to see the whole thing, but sorry for the background, guys. Hopefully gonna make better videos soon. I'm just in process of purchasing a house, so I gotta work with what I have. But yeah, so far this is the whole look. So she went to grab her lashes because I was like, I'm gonna put these lashes, and she was like, oh, don't use yours, I have a pack that I got from MAC, so you don't have to. And I was like, oh my god, great, thank you so much. So I was actually letting them dry, but that was happening right now. I was letting them dry, and all of a sudden my camera at one point decides, guess what, I am not going to keep recording. So in a few seconds you're going to see that. Oh, I was gonna zoom it in because I have people always asking me, hey, can you show me how to put lashes? And I was like, oh my god, yeah, sure. And I was gonna do that, and all of a sudden it dies. So this is the before and after. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.